Julie Ahn graduates today with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Communication Design and a minor in Data Visualization. Julie chose Parsons while also considering pursuing a career in engineering. At Parsons, she developed her interest in user experience design as a field that brings together her interests in the strategic side of communication design alongside her interest in engineering. Her dream was to one day work for Apple, and one of her faculty, upon hearing this, arranged for an internship for Julie, which she did last summer. Though living at home with her family in New Jersey, Julie was able to pursue her internship in the summer of 2020 by Zoom. Based on that experience, Apple has offered her a position permanently after graduation, and so she will be moving to California. Her career passions lie in learning about the intersection of state-of-the-art technologies with UX design for exploring human-computer interaction and solving complex world problems. An exemplary student, she has shown deep dedication to her work during her time here at Parsons. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you Julie Ahn.
Good morning, friends, family, faculty, and of course, fellow graduates joining this unique graduation setting from all over the world. I hope you're all staying safe and sound during this unprecedented time. First, congratulations to us. We did it narwhals in the midst of a pandemic. Now let me ask, did any of you knew what narwhals were before attending the new school? Because I didn't. Fun fact for those who don't know, narwhals can dive more than 5,905 feet deep, making them one of the deepest diving marine mammals. When we first stepped into the new school UC building to get our student ID cards to become an official narwhal, that was the beginning of our deep dive. Parsons was the only art school I applied to, and I did not know what I was getting myself into. I never would have expected hours of picking the right paper at Blick, fighting with the printer the night before critique at 9 p.m., walking up 10 flights of stairs with 10 pounds of art supplies because the elevator line was just too long, or having a mental breakdown at 2 a.m. staring down a pile of final projects sitting next to you. And last but definitely not least, experiencing our entire senior year virtually. We all know how challenging that was. The riptides were tough, always pushing us to go deeper and testing our limits. But the new school taught us how to swim in deep waters and to embrace the unexplored ocean rather than to swim away to the safe shore. That's why we're all here, graduating. Throughout high school and even my first year of college, I aspired to become an engineer. I thought if I graduated with a computer science degree, I could somewhat guarantee a future with a job. As you can tell, I was a pretty naive linear thinker. However, the new school allowed me to reevaluate my linear mindset. In high school, mathematics and science made sense because when posed a question, there was a solution, and that answer was either right or wrong. But here, when posed a question for an assignment, everyone is expected to bring in different interpretations and perspectives. There is no right, wrong, good or bad. I still remember being asked in my first year to bring in a piece that represented space. I brought in a graphic piece depicting literal space with the earth, moon, and stars, and I was so proud of it. But as I looked around the other students' projects, they didn't seem relevant to the topic at first glance. One student brought in a sculpture of a teddy bear that represented her favorite childhood memory, which brought her back to her childhood space. One student brought in an abstract painting to represent how anxious closed space makes him feel. This is when I had an epiphany about what it means to think creatively. Our projects were born from constant inspiration, ideation, and expansion of imagination. If there is one thing I took away from Parsons, it's that there is no such thing as enough. We were taught to think so differently and innovatively that when you look at each student's final projects, you wouldn't even know it diverged from the same topic, or even that it was from the same class. The new school instills in us that regardless of our identity, we have great potential. Now, as a student graduating from the new school, I am capable of offering original ideas and fresh perspective. We all can be. We all are unique and magical. After all, we are the unicorns of the sea. And while we all dove into the same sea when we came here, we now come up in different parts of the ocean prepared for our next deep dive. I hope you're ready, narwhals of 2021, for your next great plunge. As our aquatic friend Dory says, just keep swimming. Thank you all, and congratulations to the class of 2021.